Well, hello, everybody. It's Friday, June the 27th at at 11:23 a.m. So let's get into this edition of the Deep to Beast Best Weatherman Weather Roundup. Why, hello there. It is exactly a week before July 4th on this Friday morning, and we have several things to get into, including several areas that we're watching in the tropics and the North Texas weather. So let's go ahead and blow through the tropics first with this area that we're watching in the southwestern Gulf that has a 10 to 20% chance of developing into something. And I don't think it's going to develop into Barry. However, this is in one of the more favorable areas of this area is sitting in one of the more favorable areas of the Gulf. For sure. So that's why we're going to have to monitor this very closely, because this area is going to have less Sahara dust, less wind shear, and less trade winds. And that's why this thing could end up developing into something, but probably not going to be much more than a tropical storm the way it's looking at this point. And I'm not sure that it's going to have much time over the water, because it's going to be moving on to land, specifically Mexico, pretty quick. So anyway, we're thinking at this point. So, and we also have an area in the Eastern Pacific that we're watching with a 50 to 90% chance of development. And this system is likely going to develop the way it's looking at this point, and it probably will scrape the coast of southern Mexico and bring more flooding and more mudslides to them, unfortunately. But some of the models are showing this becoming a tropical storm. Others are showing this becoming a hurricane. So we're just going to have to watch both of these areas for you all. But we also have to watch the North Texas weather for more showers and storms today, about a 10 to 20% coverage, roughly along north of the I-20 corridor, with about where the quote-unquote highest chance of showers and storms exists for today. And going forward, the weekend is expected to be dry for most, and then from Monday through Wednesday, 20% rain chances appear back in the forecast. And looking at the North Texas area 10-day forecast, the way it's looking right now, outside of any rain, it's just going to be plain old hot and a little humid too. So now I think the temperatures are going to stay fairly warm even with the rain around, because it's going to be fairly spotty in nature, I think, the way it's looking at this point. But then also some of the models are showing that the majority of the rain for early next week stays the highest coverage stays west of the Deep to Be area. So we're just going to have to watch all of it for you. But anyway, I also have some news to announce, and it is that for really it's going to be kind of the rest of the summertime that I'm gone at some points, including for an annual family vacation that I'm taking from this next Monday through the same Thursday of the same week. And but however, you will still be able to catch me doing Pop-Up's newscast on that vacation. So that's the exciting part of it all, okay? And then I won't be able to be here on this Sunday, actually. So it's really this Sunday through this Thursday that I won't be able to make any videos at all, except for those Pop-Up's news videos on the vacation, okay? And on Sunday I won't be able to make any videos at all, the way it's looking like right now, for my schedule at least. And then beyond that, I'm going to be gone for a special occasion with some of my friends. Their lake house that they have around the middle of July, and then around the same time, I will be going on an annual vacation that I've gone on almost every year except for 2020, of course. And then on top of that, I'm going to be going on a camping vacation at the very end of July. So once I get back from all that, it'll probably be almost time to unfortunately start school back. So, but I will still be trying my best to watch the tropics, and of course I'll be watching the North Texas weather as well. And I'm not sure if y'all are going to be able to see this or not, but oh my gosh, that was close. I have the hurricane name checklist for the 2025 hurricane season for both the Atlantic and the Pacific Basin. So we have Andrea that is checked off in the Atlantic, and may not be able to see it but I put TS next to it, which stands for tropical storm, since Andrea was a tropical storm, very briefly though. And then the checklist for the Eastern Pacific hurricane season so far is Alvin has been checked off, Barbara, Cosme, Delilah, and Eric have been checked off, and Flossie, of course, may form in the next couple of days, so I'll be watching that for you. And, of course, after my vacation and stuff, I may have to come back home and check Barry off, but we'll have to see if that ends up forming or not. So, once again, I will be watching the tropics and the North Texas weather for you, and if anything changes with either of those, I will post about it on the community/post section or whatever you see on that part of the YouTube channel. But otherwise, everyone have a great rest of the day and stay safe out there.